What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It took me a minute to get launched. For some reason, it always puts this in as entertainment after I set it up as a sports thing, and I have to go in and change it. But today, hey, welcome Victor, Anthony, and Scott. Today, we're going to go over a little bit about welcome Aaron Sandy. Is this not working? And Steven. There we go. That was lagging for me. All right. Yeah, so today we're going to go over a little bit about Kansas City Chiefs and what I think is going to happen with their offense before we get into a draft. Um, so I put together this little chart today, and it goes over our offensive line ranks because I number one, this is PFF's offensive line ranks at the end of the year every year. It says we were number 7 last year. I absolutely do not buy that. I 100% believe it was much worse. We had this guy right here, our first round pick last year at tackle. We had to move Joe Thuney out to tackle at the end of the year because we tried 3 people, nobody could work out there, and Thuney is the glue of our offensive line. Well, Joe Thuney, hey, welcome, Candyman. And so Joe Thuney was number 7 last year as a guard in the league. So we lost him in a trade. Jalen Moore, who we signed for our left tackle, is was 24th last year. Hey, thank you for showing up. Appreciate it, sir. And so we're replacing our left tackle, which was the worst position, with the rookie who you seen those grades. It was like 30 ish on all of them. Just awful. Well, we're going to try. Rumor is we're going to try to move him in to guard and use this guy as tackle. And if you look with Matt Nagy, these are Patrick Mahomes' stats. With Matt Nagy, he has not reached 4,000 air yards in a single season. So since Eric Bieniemy's left, it's been a lot worse. And the deep ball percentage, and I've talked about this with a couple people. Patrick Mahomes' deep ball percentage with Matt Nagy has been worse than 32nd in the league in the last 2 years. Yes, absolutely. So with the weaker offensive line and this, I I'm curious what'll happen. Also, like, we do whatever we can to just win games in Kansas City, right? Like, we barely squeaked by for the last like 4 years when we can. Uh, we also lost Justin Reed, who was the 20th ranked safety, and gained Jordan Hicks, who's the 35th. So it got a little worse, but our defense was insanely good. But the thing about our defense is they were very healthy last year. We didn't have like on the offensive side, we had tons of injuries. On the defensive side, we didn't have a lot. If we have a few more, our offense could be forced to score a little more. And Rashee Rice got hurt. Uh, so did Pacheco and Hollywood Brown. So our offense that we were planning on running never worked. So also with the deep ball percentage, if we go to the game log, this is something I noted during the season. This Look at all these interceptions. Continually, Mahomes threw interceptions. And if you remember, Xavier Worthy's classic play to where everybody says that he couldn't get his feet in bounds. If you look at the bird's eye view of that play, like Mahomes threw that ball in the only spot on the field that he could have possibly went out of bounds. And I believe, like this is just my take, I believe Mahomes was told to stop throwing interceptions and he started leaning the balls out of bounds, and that's why a lot of that stuff happened. Andy Reid does have a history with this. In 2008, he benched Donovan McNabb at halftime for Kevin Kolb. So I'm not saying that he threatened to bench him, but he probably said something to him. And we all know that Xavier Worthy started hitting it at the end of the season, right? Like he was a little better at the end, just like Rashee Rice was with that offense. So if our offensive line doesn't get better, we could see something more like this, to where he tries hard, either loses confidence or is told not to do what he's doing, and then at the back end have no interceptions. And he actually had better weeks, but his deep ball wasn't as good. That is now with all of our pieces, with Rashee Rice being healthy, with Hollywood Brown being healthy, with Pacheco being healthy, or whatever we get to replace him, our pieces will be there. The question is will our offensive line be reasonable enough to do anything? So I'm in on them as Spike Week players, but I don't know how I am. Like, yeah, I think they're all of them are fine where they're at, but that's about it. Anyway, time to log into a draft. I will be entering a big board in about 10 seconds. If anybody has any thoughts on anything I said or disagreements, let me know. Like, I am open. Like, if I say something that is incorrect or you believe is incorrect, like, say something. Like, I will make mistakes, and if I make a mistake, I would like to know so I can, correct myself or at least have the right line of thinking. All right, we got 5 more to start. Yeah, the thumbnail today was Patrick. This is Patrick, and just kind of going over, like, anytime you talk about a quarterback, you kind of have to talk about all their weapons, right? And absolutely, like, if Kingsley is okay at guard, and who knows, these grades are really, really not good, right? So if he when he kicks in, he's fine. Maybe there's a chance because Jalen Moore wasn't great, but he was like top 30 tackles in the league last year when he played in San Francisco. So I don't know. And Matt Nagy is, in my opinion, the issue. Like, it could be that the offensive line didn't work as well because of the way the offensive coordinator is coaching them to play. With all that being said, though, like if you look at Mahomes, this is how often he was pressured and what rating he was. He actually was very good under pressure last year, but he had a lot of pressure, so there is that. Still waiting on 3. But yeah, if our defense stays as good as it was, we won't need to score as many points as we, just like last year. But if our defense suffers some more injuries as well, like we have the weapons, Kansas City does, to have a high firepower season. Like we'll go back to this page and look at Mahomes' career. So these are the 2 years with Matt Nagy, both 18.4 fantasy points a game for Patrick Mahomes. Every year without Matt Nagy was much, much better. 25, 22, 25, 20.7, and 20.7, 26.7. So with Eric Bieniemy, he was never worse than sixth, and he's never been it with. He was 10th and 11th the 2 years with Matt Nagy. So with a worse offensive line and with the new play caller, it seems to be that he is a little worse. Yeah, and another reason why Rashee Rice is such a good pick is because when our offensive line is bad, or if it is bad, he's the go-to guy, right? Like if he's not suspended because the court case is still being held up, apparently. Like I haven't seen all of that stuff, but supposedly they still don't have like it all in line, and there's a chance that he doesn't get suspended until next year still. And if that happens, like he's one of the best values on the board. And you're also getting a full year of Patrick Mahomes working with Xavier Worthy on those deep balls, right? Like last year, Worthy had to learn the entire offense and then relearn the offense because I'm going to assume that they had a role for Hollywood Brown, they had a role for Rashee Rice, and then they had a third role completely different from those two for Xavier Worthy. And when both of those went down, Xavier Worthy had to learn more things to do. And at the end of the season, like he had, what did he have at the end of the season? That's the wrong thing. Still waiting on one, by the way. Okay, we are waiting. But he had a few spike weeks at the end, and then he had monster spike weeks in the playoffs, right? So this is full point PPR in the playoff weeks. 19, which would be 16.6. That's another 16-point game. And then 20 or 18-ish that week. Those were all the playoff weeks. So I think there was probably a little bit of disadvantage for him having to he probably went into the season thinking he had a role, and then that role got flipped upside down when all the injuries happened. All right, well, I pulled the 101. I think we all know what I'll do here. If you are in the draft with me, let me know. I don't see anybody I know. So, yeah, I do not, I'm not familiar with any of these usernames. I'm not sure what anybody else thinks on Kansas City's offense, if they're in, if they're out. And with the offensive line being as bad as it is another reason why I've been fading Pacheco. Like there's a few reasons why, and our interior offense, the interior was really solid last year, but it also got worse when we had to move Thuney to the outside, obviously. And now Thuney is on a different team, and the guy who he had to replace, who couldn't play the tackle position, is now going to try to fill in for what he was going to do. I'm not, I don't feel super confident that that's going to work out. I obviously hope it does. And I would be pretty shocked if Kansas City doesn't take a tackle or guard in the first round this year. Justin Simmons would be fantastic if he's still there. You got I seen that. That is awesome, man. Was that in the pre-flow draft for Tyler's? So this pretty normal so far. Did you land the plane? I will have to look at that. Was it in the barbecue thing? I think I do remember seeing it. I went to bed early last night. I needed to do a bunch of things whenever I got home or whenever I got up today. So I haven't actually been paying that much attention. I don't even know if there's been any real news yet. I haven't seen anything major come across. Okay, to my Discord. That's honestly a better way to get a hold of me. I think though, uh, yeah, it didn't come across. I think it's because yeah, I'll mess with that after the stream. Uh, one of your early, yeah, I have a I have a Bijan Genty and a Jefferson Genty, I believe. Day one, I got it was probably day one or two that you got that. Within the first couple days, I had a pick 22 and a pick 21 Genty share. So I feel, and one of those teams was a complete disaster after that, and the other one was okay. How do you guys feel about Derrick Henry at 13? Post it in the underdog. I haven't actually released the Discord that I made yet. I'm gonna work on it next week, and probably Monday I will post my Discord underneath in the descriptions. I wanted to test a couple things out on if people can do things because I've never ran a Discord server, so I want to mess with that first. Just need Genty to be a stud. Yeah, I mean, if he lands where we think he's going to land, it's just a great thing, right? You feel Henry is that guy until further notice. That's respectable. What what don't you get the title? What about it? Yeah, this is the exact. I guess Tyreek Hill actually got pulled up a little bit today. Title of the underdog drafts. T. Higgins goes right before me. I think this is another time I'm going to do the thing I was talking about before. I'm going to go ahead and pull up Josh Allen here to get a little unique. I don't know who else I want. I might. I mean, I probably don't have very much Trey McBride with Josh Allen, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just do McBride here. I doubt they'll, like, at the beginning of this cycle, the quarterbacks were going around the top end. That's where Hayden Winks had them ranked, and that's actually where they go on DK. Not that I think that that's where they should go every time. The only reason I'm doing that is to have more of a unique roster. So I wouldn't do this every time, but I want one or two Lamar shares with Chase, and I want one single team with Josh Allen. I've actually seen Jaden Daniels fall all the way back to the 4-5 a couple times. Not sure how, but I've seen it. And so I don't want to pull Jaden Daniels up. Where do you find the underdog draft section? I think he was talking about a Discord I have. There's just like two people in it right now. I'm gonna make that public next week. Malik and Nico is an epic combination. Absolutely. You see our guy got another streamer 101. Well, I actually like the right side of the board more. So, and on DK, it's like even exponentially more that I like the right side of the board. If you pull the 11 or 12 on DK, you can get those Nico BTJ teams or Amon neighbors, stuff like that. Like from the 12 hole, it's like about 30% of the time from the 12 hole, you can get something like that. It's I will add it to the description when the video is done, if you would like. It's still very like in its infancy, so like be nice, I guess. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. It's I renamed it. It was just my name. Uh it's now actually let me go to it right now. I guess I could just put it in our chat. I still need to make an actual logo for it. Yeah, yeah, the new name. The new name's pretty good. So anybody who wants, it's there in chat. For anybody who watches later, I will add this to the descriptions once this video is over. So as far as this draft is going, Josh Jacobs has been falling into the late third. I like him back in this half. I have a hard time clicking him up here before like Bucky, T, McBride, Tyreek. So I really like that I've been seeing him more near the middle of this round. This is a random room to where Breece Hall didn't fall. That's another reason I like the back half now. I think I'm in on taking Breece at value now. Joe Burrow goes. He didn't trust that the guy who took Josh Allen in their second round wasn't also going to take Joe Burrow. I fully understand that. I probably wouldn't have trusted it either. Zay Flowers is there. Think I don't really want Zay Flowers here. I think I'll take I don't have a lot of DK Metcalf, but I have a lot of Chris Godwin. I'll go ahead and take Chris Godwin. All right. Well, thank you. That Chase Allen McBride, it's unique, right? I don't think there'll be a lot of Chase Allen McBride out there, especially with Chris Godwin. So before I was pulling Mike Evans up with players over here, which I think is smart. Instead, on this time, Chris Godwin, a lot of the draft cycle has been on the far end. So pulling him up, like he kind of goes more near the middle to the back quite often. Over the last week or so, he has been stabilizing near the front end here. I also thought about bringing Jalen Waddle up to give the divisional correlation. I decided against that. Not that it would have been an awful thing in my eyes, but I I like Chris Godwin a lot more. Zay Flowers, like this is about where I think Zay should go. Like my problem with Zay is that he goes in the mid 40s. Could be the number one all positions. People in the community don't talk about that aspect enough. Such emphasis on stacking. Yeah, there is. I mean, and stacking matters more based on the size of the playoffs, like the finals and the playoffs. So like in BBM, where it's a 1 of 16 advance, stacking, like if you have an unstacked Burrow, you're probably going against other Burrow teams that have a stack. And when Burrow hits, he's going to also hit with one of the guys, right? So you're going to be less likely to advance if you have an unstacked Burrow in that situation. If it's like a 1 of 6 advance, it doesn't matter as much. And also, with all the money in this being in week 17, and it's what is it, 558 people or 588 in the, yeah, 558 in the finals. So how many of those teams with Joe Burrow, like if Joe Burrow is once again the quarterback one in week 17, I believe he was QB1 last year. Uh like an unstacked Burrow is probably not going to be what you need in a 558 seat final, right? It might get you to the finals, but it's probably not going to win you the finals. Hey, welcome, Fantasy Dog. Nice to see you. Yep, I'm glad you're here too. I've always enjoyed chatting with you in all of the best ball chats. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Have you actually watched some of the videos I posted before? And if so, if you have anything to that you think I need to do better at, let me know. I am definitely learning. It definitely matters, but some talk like it's all that matters. More to the equation is all. Yeah, yeah, there is. And in a 1 week sample, who knows? Which what was your favorite video that I have of the ones you've watched? Or hey, I appreciate it. I've Tyler came in and said that early yesterday, and it makes me feel pretty good hearing that people are actually enjoying it because I'm just here doing it for fun. All right, so hopefully, I was hoping that like David Montgomery would make it back. There's still one player I would really, really like at 72 that's on the board, and it was not Najee Harris. It was James Conner. So we'll get my running back here. Question is, do I pull up Jaylen Warren to stack there, or do I just take another wide receiver? I can't stack. Well, I already have Josh Allen. I'll get a stack for him later. I don't really have to worry about stacks at this point. And because I don't have to really worry about stacks, like I think I just I haven't taken a Pearsall stack or pick in a while. I'm still at 16%. So I'm going to go ahead and take him. He's been going around this side quite often. So he will probably also be paired less with Josh Allen. Like really early in the process, Pearsall was actually going at like pick 90. And I got loaded up then. Like a Yeah, I like a pairing Burrow with Fields. AR could provide random spike when you need it. Get to the playoffs because of Burrow. When yeah, and that is part of the game. Like having the guy you need to support the guy you need, right? And that is less so the case in a smaller finals. Hey, welcome Hartman. Glad to see you made it. Watch yesterday's streams. Okay, nice. I, like I said, I'm gonna be kind of like what Best Ball Guy did last year. He's like, well, if I'm going to be doing a bunch of drafts, I could just stream it. And I have a fairly open schedule. Like I work weekends, so like I won't be putting out content on Friday, Saturdays. Sometimes I'll be able to on Sundays, but it'd be later. Uh, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I will probably I'm basically free all the time. All right, so the Baker Mayfield is stacked like that. It is. I have a hard time wanting Baker here, but I can't complain. I took Jared Goff and DK there yesterday. Jalen Hurts at 56. Now this is nice. Amon Lad, Jacobs fall, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts got the stack. David Montgomery, Cooper Cup had to go and ruin this team with Cooper Cup. I'm actually just not into it. Cup could be a good pick. I'm personally not into it. I think he looked slow last year. And I think McVay, given all of that stuff that Cup used to do to Puka and then forcing him out by a trade, to me, tells me everything I need to know. Burrow was quarterback 14 or so a week, 15 to 16 when you needed him. Just saying. Yeah. Jaden Daniels, I believe, was quarterback 2 both weeks. Let's look at that real quick. Yeah, week 15, Jaden was 7, and he was number 1 week 16. Yeah, I remember Jaden was, so like that's 2 pretty reasonable weeks. Maybe you could do live streams to Monday to Thursday and do some 10-minute videos released on Friday, Saturday. Yeah, I will eventually get to that point. Um, right now I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. So yeah, a lot. I'm not. I don't know. I can't get there on Cup. I like him as a player though. The Hurts falling because of touch push being banned is so stupid. Won't ban his strength QB sneak. Yeah, I mean he squats 600 pounds. He's still gonna be able to do that. It always feels kind of bad taking the first QB after the top 5 are gone. Absolutely. It absolutely does. Travis Hunter moves up to 76. I just now seen that. Where do you, anybody in here high on Brandon Ayuk, or are you like me and scared that that injury is going to linger longer than we think? All right. Well, I'll get my quarterback to Kyler Murray stacked up with Trey McBride and also have the entire running game because I have James Conner. Um, and then with the next pick, I kind of just want to go Scatabo, but I think I'm going to go ahead and take a Janus. No, I don't need to do that. I think I need to take. Hmm. Okay, that works. I I was pretty impartial to what happened there. I think I'm at a spot that I could kind of do whatever. My running backs are a little weak, but I don't like that. I don't have anybody for like the next 12 picks in my ranks except for Scatabo, and I have plenty of Scatabo. Yeah. Oh, I mean I gamed for years, so I don't know a whole lot of the hotkeys stuff like that usually, but I played a game called Path of Exile. Put way too many hours. It's like an embarrassing amount of hours into that game, and it is a high paced game. So and I no longer play. It's not the injury for me. He never did that much. Went crazy in a contract year before he got hurt last season. He looked like crap, completely unmotivated. Yeah, I was in on him last year. Way to get your Kyler stack. This team, yeah, I that Kyler stack. That's two really solid quarterbacks. Like that opens up an extra spot at the end to add a seventh running back, probably with James Conner being my number one. So that's your main problem with them. Definitely scared on Ayuk, scared of his injury, and scared you might not have enough. Yeah, that's I actually love the talent of Brandon Ayuk, and it's hard to fade anybody in that offense, right? See, the Vikings had a meeting with Scadabo. I did not. I did see that Dane Brugler said something that was very interesting about the top 30 visits, and that is that most of the people that they're bringing in they have a question about something, so they're bringing them in to get those questions answered more than they're bringing that player in to actually like just be like, hey, we want to draft you here. And that's I mean that actually makes a lot of sense. I'm not sure how true it is, but I would guess that that's usually the case. And with Scadabo, it could be, hey, we want you to run at our place, right? Because he only ran at the pro day. I like Ayuk. Injury is scary, but it was early enough in the season. He also would be the 49ers' dominant target earner. He might be. I mean, it could just be Jawan or Ricky. Brandon Ayuk has been in the doghouse before with this coach. Kyler quoted on saying he needs it. Yes, absolutely. It's actually that note is in the notes on his profile page now on Underdog. If you were not aware, is that yeah that is, and it changes all the time. He's been changing it here and there. Brian Robinson, I took him yesterday. I still don't love the pick, but if they don't take somebody that plays that style, he is going to be a worthy pick. Oh, you'd use me? I never smile. Yeah, never. I've never smiled in my life. I'm a true alpha. Alphas don't smile. Yeah, there you go. All right, Justin Herbert. That's the man. His team is stacked. He's got the Lad stack. He's got the Hurt stack. This is a really good team. I'm not big on this player take, but this team overall is fantastic by Tristan. Keon Coleman goes a little before ADP. I was really hoping he would make it to me. I might just end up having naked Josh Allen. I think that that's fine. Um, mo- can't there is a player I really really hope he does not take, and he's probably going to take him because he only has two RBs, and I obviously want an RB because I have James Conner. So if he looks at my board, he could probably guess that I'm going to take an RB. So if I was him and I wanted an RB between these two picks, I would take one, and that was not the one I wanted. Welcome, guys. You get to witness my first Isaiah Pacheco share out of 129 drafts. This is my first Isaiah Pacheco share. And Jordan Mason is the player I wanted to fall. I really, really like Jordan Mason in a zero RB style. I think that with the news coming out that he's basically going to be the goal line back, and like I think by BBM he's going to be going 2 rounds higher. Yeah, I am absolute homer with that 0% Isaiah Pacheco. Absolutely. This draft hasn't finished, so it's still at 0. That's what I'm going to go with at least. I'll tell myself that. I I do think I completely faded him because he started way high, and I wasn't comfortable with him even in the ninth round. Now that he's going in the 10th round, I still prefer Scatabo and Charbonnet to him, but I think you could argue that he should be with Mason and Swift. Like, I also don't really like Swift a lot. So I think it's pretty arguable. Like, if Scatabo and Charbonnet are gone, like, Brian Robinson and Pacheco are in the same boat right now. Like, you got to worry about them bringing somebody in. Jaden Higgins gets pulled up to 129. I can't be mad at that. I've done that before, done that more than once. So after 11 rounds, the team: Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, done at quarterback; James Conner, Isaiah Pacheco, Jordan Mason, Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, Chris Godwin, Ricky Pearsall, Josh Downs, and Trey McBride. This team, I I'm definitely going to go deep at running back. I will probably hit rookies really heavy in the back half of this draft. I have a lot of adults in every room, so I can take some flyers. My my five wide receivers feel pretty good. Like the Josh Down, like this pick in this area, I don't feel great about it unless I take like a Jonu or a Mark Andrews who go over here. I like the tight ends, or if every once like I don't mind Steph Diggs over in that side either. You want Palmer, dude, at 166. You're gonna have to get him 12 to 13. I don't know. I'm not that into him. The I'll take him if he's there at round 14. That's who I wanted, was Kincaid. Kincaid falls pretty often, and that's who I actually wanted. He is a man beater, and that is something they need. I'm getting this feeling they're just going to draft a wide receiver again for that role. And that's just pure, you know, what I believe. I no info or anything. All right. So I really like. I'm not big on Trey Harris. This feels like I need Dylan Sampson here. I don't want Trey Benson because of. Oh, did he change his avatar? This team, I don't have a lot of Trey Harris, but yeah, I think this is a good spot. It's 13 picks or 12 picks past ADP. Uh, he's a player who has some potential. I don't love him, as you've seen. I have 5% of him, but he does have talent for sure. Oh, there we go. Yep, there it is. I don't know how you managed to find a picture where I smiled, but I appreciate it. That must have been a challenge. Yeah. Yeah, non alpha. Yep, absolutely. I'm busted. Absolutely busted. All right, we will look at I am also, I know everybody else is now talking up Rashad White. how he's such a great pick. Myself and Emo Cowboy have been on Rashad White for a long time. Like I'm at like 16%. I've felt this entire cycle that he's kind of just the guy in these areas. I was out on Jerome Ford a little more, but I've definitely been swayed to being in on him. I cannot buy Javonte Williams though. Yeah, it's and everyone pretty much everywhere is agreeing on that now. Like they had a top 5 offensive line. There's so many reasons it's a good pick. They like their third running back, so they're probably not going to draft one, you know? Yeah. RJ Harvey, I have a bunch of shares of him, but I don't. I'm kind of souring on him a little bit. I know PPR Tyler would be ashamed, but I thought that he was like he is really good with the ball in his hand. He looks like to me a kind of guy who should be used as a weapon out of the backfield. And so a lot of people are questioning if he's going to be good at that. And I think if he can't do that, he's going to have trouble. Unlike a guy like Martinez who I believe can do it but wasn't really asked to. Even if he can't, like he's going to be so good on first and second down that I don't think he's going to be required to also do that. Ford 25, Dowdle 24. Oh, those are your exposures. Those are very nice. What do you think about Kincaid? I think he's a very solid pick. It's hard to really argue. Uh, they said he was hurt, and it wasn't even him. He didn't come out and say he was hurt initially. The person who came out and said he was hurt initially was Dawson Knox, the guy who helped him, right? So that to me feels bullish. Kincaid wasn't complaining about it. He just kind of played through it. And then you look and it pretty obviously affected him. You know where I'm gonna get in here for your stream chat? I ain't seen him in more than a minute. I I guess I don't understand that. Here's my stack. Ray Davis. The I didn't get my player back. And you know what? We're going to do what I want to do here. We're going to reach all the way down and just take Damian Martinez. I'm not even scared anymore. We're just doing it. I have myself convinced. His ADP has flown up the board. It's 183 now. I don't know if you guys have been seeing this, but Martinez is like literally like 2 hours after my stream yesterday where I was talking about Martinez. Josh and Hayden got on there, and Josh has him ranked as the 5th overall running back in this class, and Hayden has him ranked as like the 6th or 7th. I think it was 6th. So I missed that. That hasn't been around as much, or maybe I just haven't seen him that often anymore. Sounds like you need to watch some UFC highlights. Probably. I used to watch a lot of UFC. I've gotten away since I work weekends now. Yeah, where is that? No, you mean Ford in 2025 will be the Rico Dowdle of 2024. Slept on, gets the job done, runs for. Yeah, this isn't. This could absolutely be true, right? Hey, Tyler, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. For anybody who doesn't already know, and I'm assuming everyone here knows, they're going live in 40 minutes. It's the Typhel Tower episode, I believe. That's always a good time. I Davis, great pick. Yeah, Ray Davis is one of my favorite picks as well. The fact that he goes this far down and that James Cook is arguing with the team makes him feel really good. Oh, it's 2.5? Maybe I seen the time wrong. Or maybe it was listed in West Coast or something and I didn't convert it. All right. Yeah, so yeah. Be sure to check them out tonight. I always enjoy it. We'll wait in lobby if he promises to stream shirtless. There you go. Already getting offers from the chat. It's not even. Don't. I mean, you probably don't even have to tempt him. He might just do it, right? If you saw the beginning of the video, you would know Matt Nagy is not good. Well, I've been a Chiefs fan a long time, and I think Bears fans can also agree that that statement is most likely correct. UFC. Oh, UCF, not UFC. Okay, okay, yeah, that makes more. I was like, why are we talking UFC? Okay, whatever. I mean, I don't hate it. 7:30 Central. Oh, okay. Maybe. Just have to take. I don't know. I don't think I could replace PPR Tyler. You got Kyle Williams at 189. He is also flying up the boards. Like, I am. I'm honestly just happy that Martinez is flying up the boards as well. Like, that makes me feel good. I have like 36% on him right now. All right, so I do need my last tight end. I'll go with the divisional correlation with my Kyler stack here. Uh, I also have my 6 running backs, and I probably need another tight end or another. Man, there are no rookies here. What do I want to do with this? This is what the boards feel like. I do not like Isaiah Bond. I really do not like this pick. But it is, I mean, I guess that's where his ADP is right now. Um maybe yeah, I'll just take Tutu Atwell, get a little team stack with Tyler Higbee. I think that I feel a little better about that. No one told me there would be math involved in your stream. Yeah, I hit everything. Everything I can. I go for it. It might not be correct, but I will try. 3.9 maths. Nobody. Yeah, nobody can replace PPR Tyler. I do. I really do like Higby as well. I I'm a little worried that they do try to go for Loveland or somebody based on what they did last year. I don't like singles. Like, I know I should, but like every Romeo Dobbs click I make just disgusts me. And I know it's the right call here and there, but with my receivers on this team, I don't think I really need a single at this point. Like, if I had a Rashee Rice or 2 rookies or something, but my only rookie right now is Trey Harris, and I have Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, Godwin, Pearsall, Downs. Like, I don't think a single is going to help with this specific lineup. But if I had like Tet McMillan and Golden, I would absolutely have been looking at Demario Douglas there. Savion makes it all the way back pretty often. Candyman, welcome. You like the bond click here? Just fine. Who do you take? I don't really worry about stat. Like, I don't like any of the bills at ADP except for Ray Davis and uh, Dalton Kincaid. Myself, I'm not really that big on most of their ADPs. So, and Josh Allen is fine unstacked. This is not a Land Larson team. Now, if he gets like fourth round capital somehow, I'll mix him in the 18th round in the BBM seasons, right? But at this point, I'm not that worried about it. He most likely won't. So I had too much Dylan Laube last year. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole again. He's on base, isn't he? Bunt single, yeah. If Demario Douglas is like if you think your team may need 5 points at some time, he's your man. Historic tight end run, Higby. Yeah, I what he did in the playoffs, it was awesome. And then he had the positive coach speak from Sean McVay. I know we can't trust Sean McVay that much, but he was listed as a studs of the offense. So, and it was him, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, and Puka Nakua. All right, so I do want to add another running back. I'll take another Jarquez Hunter share here. Um, and Savion Williams is available. I do like some Savion Williams. I'm at 10%, as you see. I am a little worried that he doesn't get good enough capital, but this is the kind of team that can support that. We'll go. I do like a Ty Johnson in the last round with Josh Allen. Actually, my last Josh Allen team did that exact thing. Welcome, Hulk. 5 points is wild. Currently on a 2-year incline, categorically. Well, I'm just gonna not say that word. Production and great chemistry and May while having the slot role despite Diggs signing. It's a perfectly fine click, and I was mostly just kind of joking about the 5 points. Uh, he made my lineup like on the drafters, I think like 6 weeks on my high dollar. I had him on my high roller last year, and I think he made my lineup like 6 times, but it was all like 12 points. Do you like Jarquez and Savion? I Jarquez, if he gets draft capital, I think he could be scary. I really do. Like I was Cody is really, really in on him. I was kind of in on him as well before. I think I took Jarquez on January 28th, like before anybody had talked about him. And Cody had also taken him back then. To be fair, Atwell could get some deep looks considering Puka and Devontae. So while we're here at this last round, I'm actually going to peek in at a bigger board and see if I can get a bigger board in. I have one more to do. Um, if anybody, I will let you know whenever I go in. And if it's close to being filled, I will try to do that. I'm assuming it's going to be nowhere close. It's 7 more to start. So if anybody wants in, they can get in. I'm probably going to go ahead in a minute or two. If nobody gets in, I'll probably back out of this and just do a DK to finish out. I'm at 54 DK drafts now. I would like to get I'd like to get up to at least 100 of them. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and back out of that lobby. not going to pull what Tyler did earlier in the year, where I think he queued up and forgot, or something happened at work. He had a double elite quarterback team. I think he probably autoed it. It was on Chess Liam's stream, I believe. I had Hunter mocked to the Vikings until Mason traded. Jarquez, yeah, that would have fit them very well too. That actually makes a lot of sense. You got a lot of your high exposure players. I am 100% not shocked that you like Savion Williams, because if I remember right, last year you were extremely in on Cordero Patterson. I'm too poor for a bigger board. Yeah, I mean, it is like it's got such a good structure. I want to play it. I honestly like it way more than this tournament that we're currently in. So, looking through my team, I think I just add a random tight end at the end here. Maybe just Dawson Knox. I don't know. No, we won't do that. Um, this is a team that can support Terrence Ferguson, right? I'll go ahead and take Terrence Ferguson here. Savion needs to land with a good play caller. KC, LA, Chicago, San Francisco apparently is very into Savion right now, by the way. Could be a gadget specialist with random spikes. More athletic than Taysom Hill. Yeah. All right, so we'll go over the team real quick. You got a 2-7-8-3. Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, James Conner, Isaiah Pacheco, Jordan Mason, Dylan Sampson, Ray Davis, Damian Martinez, Jarquez Hunter. Wide receivers, Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, Chris Godwin, Ricky Pearsall, Josh Downs, Trey Harris, Tutu Atwell, Savion Williams. Tight end, Trey McBride, Tyler Higbee, and Terrence Ferguson. All right, so we'll go ahead and move on over to DraftKings for anybody who wishes. We'll be entering the $10 tournament. This tournament closes in 2 weeks. There's 41,000 entrants and 117,000 is the max. It's a little under, what is that? 80,000? It's 80K away from maxing. Like, this overlay might be insane. Got 5 of 12 here. All right. Love the structure of the bigger board over the big board. Absolutely. And like, the biggest board is the same, right? Like, the biggest board's the one that I'm like, that's with that one. I feel like I don't want to do just one. Like, if it was a one and done, I would probably be in. But because I'd have to, like, I feel like I would have to do the $1,000 worth, I'm gonna probably sit that one out. We wish Underdog had a better advancement structure for the big and little boards. I mean, it's 3 of 12, so that's perfectly fine. I personally am. I'm probably not going to max the BBM this year and go more for better structured tournaments. And also, I think I want to try to max the Eliminator, or at least do a bunch of the Eliminator. I I didn't do great in that format last year, but I had 18.6% Rasheed Rice or Christian McCaffrey, and I had 20% Rasheed Rice in it. So, and then I think it was like 14% Pacheco. So things didn't go well, but I felt like I built solid teams and had a good strategy. Just bad injury luck in that tournament specifically. Superflex would also very much work. Yeah, they ran like 3 Superflex tournaments last year post NFL draft, and I really like the Superflex tournaments myself. Uh, I didn't do a lot of them, and I actually had better advance rates in those than I did the regular ones. None of my advance rates were great, but I was highly exposed on a lot of the players who ended up getting hurt. Not that that's the only reason I did bad, but uh, I'm actually I'm working on a little article, and it'll be reasons I think I done bad last year, and I've got 7 or 8 points right now, and I'm like layering it and making it a bulleted article. And I think the day before, like the week of the draft, I'm probably going to go over that on a stream. And if I'm not going to say I'm right on everything, but I'm mostly going to put it out there for things that I believe that I learned. And if I'm wrong on something, I want people to correct me. I'm not a pro. I think I have a fairly good grasp on things, but who knows? If I can do something to assist some people, feel great. All right, well, I got the 10 hole. Hartman gets the classic 12 hole, the best spot on DK. I don't know if he agrees, but it is absolutely my favorite spot on DraftKings. Like the stream, y'all help. Yep. I don't know how many I have. Yeah, let's do that. Sub and like if you have not, and if you enjoy. Only have 11 likes, have 15 viewers. I've had quite a bit of people stop in, so that's good. Thanks for the shout out, Fantasy Dog. I hadn't, I just kind of wing it, and I hadn't remembered to say that yet today. You'll probably do 100 to 120 BBM, come close to maxing the eliminator. I think I'm going to do like I'm probably only going to do like 25 to 30 big BBMs. Like I'm probably not going to do a ton of them. No, I definitely could be better. Absolutely. Barkley at 6. Oh, on my rankings? Yeah. Yep. That's my rankings. I made these rankings about 2 weeks ago, so some things have definitely changed. Um, but especially in full PPR, I don't want Barkley before Bijan or Jameer Gibbs for sure, right? Like to me, Jameer Gibbs and Bijan are much better full PPR than Saquon. And this true alpha right here. Favorite spot on DK is wherever yeah, okay. I actually have 20% Bijan on DK because I continually get the 2, 3, 4 spot. And I don't hate the position. Hey, welcome Crossfades. Thanks for stopping by. You agree with it? Nice. Okay, you weren't aware it was full PPR? Yeah, so DraftKings and Drafters are both full PPR. We'll go ahead and I feel like a Brian Thomas share here. Just feeling like Brian Thomas. Does he take CMC and give Hartman a nutted start? Let's Nope, he does not. You're not a DK guy, but you're here to watch. I appreciate it. I just got done with underdog one. I I'm trying to get a bunch of these done, and I only have 22 underdog left to do. I did pop into a bigger board to look. It needed half of a room, so I didn't do that. All right, so I kind of want to get some more Achan with the Tyreek Hill stuff going on. Um, the Armstead stuff does scare me. He That offensive line wasn't great last year, but that's one reason Achan was really solid is because in PPR especially, like I can't remember, he had an insane amount. What was it? Like 60 receptions or something? 78. He had 78 receptions on 87 targets. That is incredible. So that's an extra 40 points to all the other running backs, right? In a full PPR. Because, like, let's bring it up real quick. Running backs by receptions. Achan, Kamara, Bijan, Brees. So it's 25 more than everybody but the top 10 at that of receptions. It feels pretty strong, especially whenever you're looking at single week upside. Like, because a couple of those games he had like 10 receptions or so, if I remember right. All right, I will go ahead and there we go. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I said earlier, like on DK, the quarterbacks, like Lamar's going to go over here as well. But on draft or on underdog, Josh Allen goes on the other side of the board. That's why I was okay pulling Josh Allen up. On DK, I'm not going to have any shares of Jamar Chase with Josh Allen because it's going to be a lot more common. And the only reason I did it on the underdog draft is to get a unique team. Like this would be a unique start on underdog, but it is not here. We got a Hartman ended up going Nico and Genty. That is a very like Genty just feels awesome. I'm curious after the draft if he goes to the Raiders where he's going to move. What does the chat think? Where are you comfortable taking Ashton Rady or Ashton Genty on the Raiders? You think you saw that Achane had a higher A dot than DJ Moore after the Bears fired Walter? That is hilarious. I had not seen or heard that yet. That I hope that's true. Still take him at the 1-2 at 9. Yeah, like Davis Maddock talks about how he's going to end up going at like number 6. I think I'm going to have a hard time taking him above all of these guys. I feel like where he's at is kind of where he should go, even with that. Okay, so we'll sort by ADP real quick. I'm going to try to hit the nuts here. We'll see what happens. I don't take a lot of Terry McLaurin, but when I'm close to the end like this, and this player took Bowers, anytime somebody takes Bowers this high, I kind of feel like they're not the kind of person like I feel like they're probably going to draft fairly smart and not that a naked Jaden Daniels at 38 is a bad pick, but I feel like it's a little more likely that he actually makes it back because I'm going to assume that this person doesn't want to take a whole lot of non receivers. All right. Got Jaden Daniels through 4 rounds. I got the Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin stack with Devon Achane and Brian Thomas. And I knew Hartman probably wouldn't take him there. So, and Brees Hall is such a good pick. Yeah, Jaden Daniels is looking juicy. I agree. Yeah, so back to like the beginning of the stream with Xavier Worthy. I actually have a lot of Worthy because I do believe that if they if they get their timing down, I think Mahomes' deep ball has been worse over the last couple of years, but I I think that part of that is the offensive line, and I don't know if it gets better, but and maybe I mean honestly, maybe he's never really had that great of a deep ball because as you've seen from the little chart I made, like it's not been as good lately since Tyreek Hill left, and we all can like still visualize Mahomes like barely underthrowing Tyreek stopping, jumping up in the air, and the defender flying past him. Like maybe it's just Tyreek was that good that it made his deep balls look better. Yes, he hit some in stride. You think that 11 hole is vaporware? I don't think so. I think his name is actually vaporware. I think. I'm not positive. I don't know. That yeah, maybe it is. I think you're right. That might be his symbol. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I can't bring that up to look. Man, Rasheed Rice is flying up in DraftKings. I done a couple yesterday, and he was consistently going from pick 30 to 35. He goes at 28 here, and if he plays every game, that's perfectly fine, right? Like if Rasheed Rice, if his suspension gets pushed back, and he's actually healthy, that is probably where he needs to go, maybe even higher, especially in a full PPR format, right? All right, well, I like all of these picks. Um, I I'll go ahead and take the team correlation there with Jalen Waddle, and there were so many players there that I was okay with. Uh, I I have a lot of Roma Dunze because he just goes so much later on DK, and Waddle actually goes quite a bit later as well, and Tet as well. Like there's several players that on DraftKings I I have pretty big bags on, and on Underdog I don't have very big bags on. And Tet McMillan is one of those. Luther Burden, I think I have like 26% Luther Burden on DraftKings because he goes at pick 108, and I have like 4% of him on Underdog. This is a tough choice. Jordan Addison, I feel like is a slight tear break. Travion Henderson sounds like a lot of fun though with Achan, and knowing that all the rookies get pushed down on DraftKings, like I should almost be guaranteed to get a Egbuka or a Golden here because they usually go down in the 90s. So I think taking the running back there, knowing I can get youth at wide receiver at these picks, I think that makes more sense. You're starting to grab more Rice and Godwin, especially on DK. Yeah, I mean DK, Rashid Rice. Uh, so Chris Godwin was the number 2 player last year in points per game. Uh, I know he only played a few, and Rashid Rice only played the 1 quarter and didn't do anything before his knee got blown up. And if you remove that game from his profile last year, he would have been number 2 over Chris Godwin in full point PPR. So both of them were having monster seasons before they got hurt. And I think on DK, Godwin and Kamara, like Kamara goes at like 48. I'm pretty in to Alvin Kamara on DraftKings. He is Vaporware underdog. I know that. Yeah, that at first I didn't realize it, but yeah, that is definitely his picture. He might be listening, he might not. I know he pops in here and there. I'd take Rice over BTJ on DK if he's fully healthy and not suspended. I don't think that that's that bold. Like, I think that Rashid Rice should probably go in like the Lad McConkey Drake London tier. Maybe not over BTJ. I like BTJ. It sounds like you don't. So I I do think that pulling him up into this range perfectly fine if you know he's 100% healthy and playing, right? David Montgomery falls a lot on DK. He did not this time. Like, this player probably probably a solid drafter, seeing what they've done and actually taking Demont at the appropriate price. Look at the board real quick. Jaden Reed down here actually feels pretty good. Sort by ADP, see what we have. Yeah, one problem with me having all the rookies I have at wide receiver is a player I really like, I have none of, and that's Jonnu Smith. I only have 2% Jonnu Smith, and I think he is a really, really good player here. I don't want him on this team. I don't want a triple stack Tua, I don't think. I mean, I guess it's fine. Um, what do you think? Do you think I should triple stack Tua, or do you think I should go ahead and take Egbuka if he falls back? I mean, if Egbuka or if Egbuka goes here, I probably, yeah, I think the triple stack definitely sounds like more fun, right? Yeah, I agree. Well, you guys cornered me. 2 on 1. I can't argue anymore. Sorry. I'll do it. No, I think it's a fine pick. I do want a lot more of him. Uh, I tend to take the Kittles, the elite tight ends a lot on DK, knowing that I can get Egbuka and Burden back over here. It feels so much better to just have the elite tight end. And because I do that more often, I don't give myself a chance to get this tier. And I actually really like Hawkinson and Jonnu Smith as players. Thanks for the votes. BTJ's not bad, just your lowest of the round 1 wide receivers. I'm doing the lower. Amon Ra is my number 11. Uh, I'm a little worried about the offense with bench. Not that I think that their offense is going to be bad. I do think their offense is still going to be very good, but they were insanely good last year, and they didn't lose any talent. Like, so if they score less points, and Amon ran pretty hot on touchdowns last year, and if those get spread out a little more, I don't know if he's actually worth that pick. Like, he's still fine. Like, he's not going to be somebody who buries you. He absolutely has a role that's going to perform. I just think that his ability to be the number one overall wide receiver is less than the rest of those players in the first round. That is why I have less of him. And anybody who loves him, I mean, I have no problem with it. Like, I think all those top 11 are very, very fair arguments. That's fair. A lot of mouths to feed. Yeah, that is my take on Amon. The reason I have him 11, and he's such a good pick. And like with Eliminator, like he might be like my number 3 wide receiver because he's going to have a role, and that role is important for that offense, and that offense will score points. But in this, you kind of want wide receiver 1 overall. I just that's just me. Yeah, he really is. It's great. I honestly feel honored to be his profile picture. Some would be upset and say I'm not going to pull up any of your comments. Some would say that. All right, we will look at the team real quick. I probably need anything really. Um Man, all of these. When in doubt, draft Cam Scatabo. Yeah, I'm not going to say any names, but I think Aaron Sandy knows what I'm talking about. So I'm going to bet we're going to put a line out there, just for fake numbers. Minus 200, that Tua makes it back to 130. Yeah, he is such a fun watch. He really is. Now let's look at the quarterbacks that are available. I still have him. I think I go ahead and take ETN. That gives me a double stack and a triple stack. So with the spike week tool, as you see here, the quarterback, I have it set up as green with the quarterback stack and blue if it's no quarterback stack. Well, something that's kind of funny is it considers free agents as the rookies as stacks. So Travion Henderson and Cam Scatabo is a stack officially here. The Tyreek drafter did not have a quarterback, but I have the out to Brian Thomas Jr. as well. So no, he has 2. I didn't think he did. Honestly, I wasn't too worried about it. Um, Most likely any week, Jaden Daniels is probably going to score as many or more points than Tua. Even if, like, even if Jonnu Smith and Waddle score a bunch of points, let's say it's a 4 touchdown game, like if Jaden Daniels has a rushing touchdown and 2 passing and 40 yards, that's fairly close in points, right? So it's not that big of a deal to not land Tua. I would like to land Tua, but it's not that big of a deal. Now, if Tua and Trevor Lawrence both go before my pick, I might not be very happy. Yeah, you got to worry. Yeah, I'm. That's why, like, because Hulk Smash is not in this draft. That right there, that gives me a little more hope that I get Tua back. You know, I appreciate you not coming into this draft. It giving me a little bit, making me feel a little better. Yeah, man, we've all made that mistake, right? Like, I think one of my early drafts, I I did the old go back to the player thing, but it was scroll down and like then you're like, I don't like anybody. You just take your stack quarterback and then you go back to the draft board and you realize you took your stack quarterback 30 picks ahead of ADP. I know I'm probably the only one of us that have done that. I'm sure nobody else in this room has ever done that, but it's a really good feeling, right? Tyler Warren, Evan Ingram, like that feels like a really solid tandem, right? Question is, do I take Tua or T Law? I have the pass catching running back and BTJ. I think this is Trevor Lawrence. And then I think I just go ahead and push Tua all the way back around. And if he comes back in the next, oh, never mind. I got vetoed. Right there. You see that? I got vetoed by Purdy Boys. Purdy Boys here taking Trevor Lawrence. Did he get Matt Stafford went up here? So that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Vetoed. I mean, veto is better than the mushroom stamp, so I'll take it. Like I wasn't relying on it, so it wasn't necessarily a mushroom stamp. It was a veto. So I'm okay. Do your thing, pretty boys. Like he actually kind of did something like Trevor Lawrence is fine to backstack. He can backstack Bretton Strange. Matt Stafford went at 116 here. He's got Devontae Adams. He's got sniped on all of his quarterbacks. So it actually makes sense for him to take Trevor Lawrence there. I'm not gonna really talk that much crap, but he did get me. He got me good. I only have four wide receivers, so we are gonna go there. We're gonna probably just pull up Jaden Higgins. We're at one pick 30, 135. Yeah, I think I'll just take Jaden Higgins. That's my first rookie. So, team so far Jaden Daniels, Tua, Devon Achan, Trevion Henderson, Cam Scatabo, Travis Etienne, wide receivers, BTJ, Terry McLaurin, Jalen Waddle, Jaden Reed, Jaden Higgins. Man, that's three J's. The J squad here. And John U. Smith. I feel like this is a pretty solid start. You do you do sometimes because it's already targeted the players, the ADP, the later stack. Oh yeah. Yeah, and pulling people up is fine. Yeah, add Pretty Boy to the list. Yep, I will. Absolutely. I'm gonna talk crap about him every time. Every player he takes from now on. Like why would you take Bayshal Tootin? He doesn't stack with Trevor Lawrence. What are you doing taking Trevor Lawrence there, sir? How dare you? Oh, that sucks. I had that happen to me yesterday on DK where like I went to click a player and it wouldn't do it and I reloaded the browser and it made a pick for me. But let's look over your team. I mean, that's a pretty fair value on Dak Prescott. He's not I mean, sounds like we know what time it is in round 19, right? I think we know what time it is. You got Nico Collins, Ashton Genty, Brees Hall, DJ Moore, Tedero McMillan, Chris Olave, TJ Hawkinson, Tony Pollard, Jordan Love, Tucker Craft, Keon Coleman, Dak Prescott. Yeah, that's a pretty solid team. He's reasonable to stack late. Um, and I mean, Tech McMillan is actually fully in play for Dallas. So, oh yeah, I know what time it is. But so was that is his only quarterback with Trevor Lawrence. That has to feel awful. And then he doesn't take another one. He takes Tootin, and all of these go. We're probably down to what? Just Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson. He's probably at that point in the draft where everything has went wrong and you've almost given up. And that at that point is where you're like, you know what? This is an Anthony Richardson team. Hey, welcome, Bendels. Glad to see you. Man, I was kind of into A Rich early. Like he's got such a big upside. I I do think that the entire coaching staff gets fired if he doesn't play. You know. Also, if you have not, please like and subscribe. It'd be appreciated. Gino goes. He's about to. Anthony Richardson goes. He has one option. Oh, he okay. He took it. That's me. I have all the options. Go by ADP here. Go by running back. I think that this team, Jerome Ford fits pretty well. I'm gonna go ahead and take Jerome Ford. We got pretty close to being done. Like I could almost be done at running back. I'll probably add a sixth late, but I feel pretty good about the five I have. Got Achane, Henderson, Scatabo, ETN, Jerome Ford. Feels very, very solid. Rico Dowdle was the other pick I would have taken there. Is he going Xavier Legette and Bryce Young? Love it. I love that. That Bryce Young on a turn with any of his receivers just feels amazing. For me, I don't know about you, but I feel so good about that every time. All right, so man, Trey Harris is falling way down these boards. I think I just take Jalen Coker though. No, okay, we'll take Alec Pierce. Sounds like we're taking Alec Pierce. I think that all those receivers there, like last second I was debating on moving on and taking Keenan Allen. Um, this is kind of where yeah, that's a good pick there. Like I do like adding Keenan at this point if I have Caleb Williams or Justin Herbert, but that's other than that, not really. Yeah, man, people underestimate Bryce Young's rushing upside. Like I don't think people really respect that he started running and looked good doing it at the end of the year. He looked a lot better in the games than his stat lines looked. But it means that he has the ability to do it. And I think it's just upside that is untapped for the most part. And I think that offense is going to be wheels up. We know their defense isn't going to be wheels up. And above average offense with a bottom five defense, that's what I want to sign up for. Absolutely. That's why I have quite a bit of Chuba. It's why I like all three of the wide receivers. Uh, Something that nobody's talking about is I think Tyler Warren, if he gets past the Jets, going to Carolina would make so much sense to me. Like, I think that would be like, or Loveland. I think that would make a ton of sense. You know, you're not going to stop anybody on defense. Like, you can't draft enough players this year to make that defense good. Like it's just not going to happen, right? So why not just try to make your offense elite? If nothing else, at least your fans will have fun, right? You may not win a lot, but your fans are going to have a lot of fun. 6 games of NFC, yeah, and almost every team in that division has bad defense, like mediocre to bad defenses. Like it's real. Like I really like, and he's the one that has the most rushing upside of the quarterbacks in that division. So unless I'm forgetting something, man, this is an absolute fall on him. I still only have one tight end though, and I do have kind of a cliff after Hunter Henry, so I'll go ahead and take Hunter Henry maybe. Let's look at the board here. Yeah, we'll take Hunter Henry. You like that call? Yeah, exactly. Like, and they re-signed Tommy Tremble to like not an incredibly cheap deal either. So you know that they value that position. Um, I think it would make a lot of sense. And having a bunch of Bryce, I would love to see it. Oh, look at this guy. Look at this cheeky guy here in the 11 hole. Cheeky guy. How dare you take Damian Martinez from me? I thought we were friends. Breaking news. I didn't get Damian Martinez. Is that the breaking news? Because that's kind of breaking news anymore. I'll go ahead and take Diami Brown to get a third player on the Jaguars with, and that way I kind of screwed old Purdy boy there, but team sacking still fine. Isaiah Bond turned himself into police for sexual assault. Wow. Hey, thanks for that. So he turned himself in. I mean, at least he knows he did something that was wrong. Character concerns. Yeah. I mean, was he in Kansas City? Like, did he probably had a visit with Kansas City and then took a trip down to Texas, back to Texas, because that's where everything's happened. That's where Rashid Rice's thing happened. That's where the Xavier Worthy thing happened. So I'm gonna assume maybe that's what happened. Yeah, is he getting out on Bond? Yeah, that's great. I love it. That's all. That is fantastic. Well, luckily that this draft is close to over because it just started thundering and it's super windy again. Gotta love it. All right. So far my team is, give me 1 second. Jaden Daniels and Tua, Achan, Travion Henderson, Scatabo, Travis Etienne, Jerome Ford, BTJ, Terry McLaurin, Jalen Waddle, Jaden Reed, Jaden Higgins, Alec Pierce, Diami Brown, Johnny Smith, Hunter Henry. I feel pretty good about this. I like what I have going on. He had warrants out for his arrest. It was Frisco. It wasn't. I mean, it probably. I mean, he lived there, right? That would make sense. The question is, did he go to Kansas City beforehand? Like, I haven't seen him on an official visit for KC yet. I haven't looked the last 2 days, but and maybe I just missed it because I definitely don't want him there, and even less so now. I mean, I'm not a big Devin Neal slappy by any means, but at pick 202, I think I'm in. That gives me 6 running backs. Um, Probably add a tight end to this room. No real tight end that I feel like I have to have. I have a 2.672. I have an elite quarterback, so I'm fine with just Jaden and Tua. I'll have an extra spot somewhere. Not sure what I'll do with it. Um, Probably take him unless Vaporware takes him. I thought his name was actually Vaporware on here too. Yeah, we'll take a Jack Best share. Some people have been getting a little lower on Jack Bash. I don't know why. I think there's a little bit of uncertainty with where he's going to, like his draft capital. I still think that worst case scenario he goes in round 3, but maybe I'm wrong. Christian Watson sighting and Tank Dell at ADP sighting 173. Gotta love it. Where do we think Taysom Hill goes? Two 236 maybe right here. Is Best the one people call a tight end? Might be getting it mixed up. So yes, he was actually a tight end at LSU, I think 3 years ago, and as a tight end, or he it was like a tight end that was kind of more like the Joker kind of tight end. He Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. were on that team, and if I remember right, he led that team in yards. So, and then he transferred to TCU, and we know what happened with the other two. So, and it was also two other wide receivers that are NFL talents, Trey Palmer and somebody a little better than Trey Palmer, but that was the wide receiver room when he was listed at tight end at LSU, and he actually had more yards than they did. And whenever he moved to TCU, they moved him to wide receiver, and he still kind of runs like that. Yeah, I wonder what team could be looking for a Joker. All right, I think I just smashed Chig here. I like Chig, and I feel really good about these running backs. I have an elite three three rookies: Jerome Ford, absolute floor; Travis Etienne, solid. I got my three tight ends. I think I just add some wide receiver depth. What time is it, Hartman? Is it is it that time, or do you have enough wide receivers already? He's gonna let it time out. Watch. I can feel it. I can feel the anticipation. Look at this. Oh, there we go. He didn't let it time out, but we all knew what time it was. It was Cavante Turpin time. All right. What wide receiver do I want here? I think it's pretty easy. We just quadruple stack. Take Malik Washington. Why not, right? If Tyreek gets moved somehow, I don't honestly think that Tyreek's going to get moved, but Malik Washington would be fantastic if that happens. Oh, dude, yeah, he is buried on the DraftKings rankings. I moved him up on my own rankings. That's how I find him. Usually just type him in. Like that's pretty much the only way to do it. Type him in up here in this little box. if you're on your phone, then that's a lot harder. All right, we'll go over the team. Jaden Daniels, Tua Tagovailoa, Devon Achane, Trevion Henderson, Cam Scatabo, Travis Etienne, Jerome Ford, Devin Neal at pick 202, Brian Thomas Jr., Terry McLaurin, Jalen Waddle, Jaden Reed, Jaden Higgins, Alec Pierce, Diami Brown, Jack Best, Malik Washington, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, Chig Okonkwo. Feels solid to me. Hartman made peace with his Dak Prescott pick that he very obviously took for absolutely no reason. No foul play involved. It was just Hartman doing his own thing. Hey, thank you, sir. But he makes it work with maybe one of my favorite picks. I'm not gonna say one of the best picks, but one of my favorite picks is actually Turpin. I really do like him as a spike week guy. If you feel like your team is pretty solid, and if you would like me to go over your team before we finish, I can. If not, that's fine. I will. I won't be streaming for the next 3 days. I'll be back Monday, 4 p.m. Central, and I don't know who my case of the Mondays is gonna be. I have a couple ideas. Um, but I'll have to actually work something out. I think I know who it'll be. So if you're interested, watch out for that. And I will. Thanks for everybody for stopping by. I appreciate it. And as soon as I close this out, I will put the Discord link in the descriptions. Thanks, everybody. See ya.